skaters, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. I am Coach Julia and I'm so excited because today I'm going to be bringing you all the choreography for our annual Christmas program. So if this is your first year with us, what I do every Christmas season is I will teach you the choreography to a program. I'm going to give you the music for that so that you have some music to skate to that choreography. You all can learn that and use it for your Christmas productions back at your home rink or just for the fun of learning a program. But if you can get someone to film you and submit that video back to me, then you can be involved in a video that I will be putting out on Christmas Day with all of us around the world skating to the same Christmas program. It's really special, and I'll post some links down below so you can see the videos that I've done in the past. Now, the only thing you're going to need to do besides practicing it and maybe coming up with a fun Christmassy costume is get someone to film it for you. And I'd like you to film it horizontal, not vertical. And at the end of this video, I will give you instructions on how to submit that video back to me so you can be part of our Christmas program. Now, right now, I'm going to be teaching you the right-handed version of this program. If you are left-handed, I'm going to be teaching you the left-handed version of this program today, and that video will be coming up at 6 p.m. Pacific time today, November 19th, Sunday, November 19th. So if you're left-handed, come back later this evening and you'll have this same choreography going your way. Now, I say right-handed and left-handed simply because, generally speaking, right-handed skaters like to rotate counterclockwise and left-handed skaters like to rotate clockwise. All right, so that is the general rule. So we're going to start this video with, or this program, with a moonwalk. Now, I posted a moonwalk tutorial on Friday, so make sure you check that out. If you don't feel comfortable with the moonwalk yet, we can do some backward stroking. So I'll show it to you both ways. So I am currently just off the center. Okay, so the center line of the rink is just to my left, okay? So I am right of the center and I'm behind the red line. So you can see I'm just in front of the blue line, okay? So I'm kind of towards one of the corners. All right, this is gonna, if you can kind of copy that placement, this will help you do the program correctly. Now I'm gonna start with all of my weight on my right leg and my left knee is gonna kink in, okay? So I'm kind of in this little kink. You can see that I'm almost making like a letter K with my left leg, okay? So you can stand up nice and strong and then bend that knee in so that your thighs are sort of together and your feet are out, okay? And I'm just going to wrap my arms around me. So I have my right hand across my torso and my left hand up towards my shoulder, okay? So this is going to be my starting position. If you can't hit this quite perfectly, that's okay. Just give it your own style. I'm giving you a blueprint. You're going to make this program your own. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stand up and we're going to go moonwalk backwards. Okay, now if you can't moonwalk, you can do some backward stroking, some backward swizzles, but I encourage you to try the moonwalk because this music has a little bit of feel to it, and that moonwalk is going to fit in perfectly at our beginning. So we're here and we go moonwalk backwards. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is a pivot. I've about reached the blue line here. Now, depending on your skill level and what pivot you like best, you can kind of swap out the different ones. The easiest one to do is going to be a forward inside pivot. So you can go towards your left shoulder, hit that left toe pick in the ice, and pivot around. Okay, I'm going to do a big fan kick into a backward pivot. So for me, I'm going to go fan kick and backward pivot. Okay, so you can play around with the pivot here and decide which one you can get into best. But our first trick is going to be this pivot. Now, from our forward pivot, we're going to do a one back crossover with our left leg. Back crossover and right crossover. So they're kind of alternating, okay? Left and right. If you're on the line, you can think of the left one going away and you come back, and then the right one coming away and coming back. All right, so let's do that again. So we have our starting position, we have our moonwalk, we have our pivot, and we have crossover left and crossover right. Now, we're gonna step forward into an attitude. I'm doing this skating on my left leg with my right leg up behind me, and I'm gonna take a snowman's hat and I'm gonna place it on my head. Okay, that's gonna go with the music really well. You can imagine you're holding the top brim of a hat and you're gonna place it on your head. Click. All right, so we have that attitude. So all of this has kind of traveled down that blue line. Okay, so you've actually made an L shape so far. Okay, so we finish our attitude, and now we're gonna go up the ice and we're gonna do a jump. Now there are so many options in what you can do with this jump. It needs to be something that you can do in a straight line, so it cannot be a circular jump. So for options we have bunny hop, half flip, ballet jump, stag jump, split jump with a tap, toe loop, and flip jump. All right, so those are all the options that would fit really well in here after your attitude. So you've gone attitude, and you can step forward and go bunny hop. Okay, or maybe you want to do a ballet jump, so you go attitude and ballet jump. Okay, or you have your attitude and you have a toe loop. Okay, any of those straight line jumps work really well after your attitude. Okay, so we've landed a jump, and what we need to be doing is rotating counterclockwise around the rink. And so I love Enab Bowers. I'm gonna put a little Enab Bower in here. You could put a big fan spiral in here if you're good at fan spirals. You could put a little spread eagle in here. This would be a great place for a spread eagle. Catch foot spiral, or if you want to do something simpler, a really beautiful hockey glide would be nice. So we have landed whatever our straight line jump is going to be. I'm in the corner of the rink. You can see I'm right next to this red dot. So that's really in the corner, okay? And I'm gonna come around clockwise towards the other corner, towards the other dot. So let's start with the easiest and then work our way up. So from here, I'm going to do some either pumping or crossovers forward, and we're gonna do a big smiley face with our hands. Okay, so we have our hockey glide. Now, in the music, it's gonna talk about a big smile. So I want you to put your hands with your fingers facing out and just reach out. So imagine you're showing us that beautiful smile. I don't want it to look like you're chopping yourself off, okay? So do not give me slicing motion. Give me a beautiful smile motion with your hands, okay? And we can do this with most skating maneuvers. So we have our hockey glide. That was our first option. Let's try it with a forward spiral. So we've landed our jump. We're gonna skate around that corner, and we're gonna do a big smile. Oh, so pretty. So we're gonna say we've landed our jump, and now I am gonna stay backwards, and I'm gonna come around that corner and do a beautiful smiling Enab Bow. Okay, so you can really play with this corner and make it something that really speaks to you, something that is fun for you and shows off something that is your personal bag of tricks in those skating skills. Once we've done that, now I am at my center curling circle. Okay, so whatever you do, you want to afterwards get to the center circle. So if that means you need to do a couple of backward pumps, some backward crossovers, some forward crossovers, whatever you need to do to get from the skill that you're doing, you want to get to the center. If your rink does not have curling circles, that's fine. A lot of rinks have hockey circles, and I'm right between the two hockey circles. Or just try to get to the center of the end of your ice. Okay, whatever space you have, get the center end. So here we're going to do our first spin, and this is one of those places you can really play with for your personal skating style. Let's just start with the easiest thing. We're going to wind up and do a 2-foot spin. Do. Okay, but right here, do whatever you want. I think the fanciest one that I've taught on this channel is doing stars. So let's say you are coming in and you're gonna go star, 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 and Let's do a sit spin. Okay, so there's lots of options. All right, you could pop an illusion in there if that's the big cool thing you've been working on. You can either just check out really nicely, or if you want to go the extra mile, you can falling leaf jump out of that spin, okay? I want you to aim your body back towards where we did the attitude and snowman's hat, okay? So we're going corner, all right? So we're going away from where we started towards where we did our attitude. And we're gonna do some version of a spiral, forward, outside, forward, inside, backward, inside, catch spiral, something like that. So we're gonna get around the corner of the ice, going towards the wall, and then do our spiral diagonally towards the other wall. Okay, so we're making a big zigzag with our entry for this spiral. So we've checked out of our spin. If you're going backwards, I want you to stay backwards and do backward crossovers around the end. If you're going forwards into a forward spiral, you're gonna turn forwards and do your spiral, okay? But whichever spiral you choose to do here, it's fully up to you what spiral you want to do. But we're gonna do that across the ice. So now we've reached the other blue line. We're on the other side of the ice and the other side of the ice. Okay, we're completely changed positions with that spiral. So here we have a chance to do an edge jump, okay? Meaning you can do a waltz jump. You could still do a bunny hop. It's not as natural a jump, but a bunny hop would work if that's your skill level. You could put a tap toe jump in here, but you could also do a sow cow or a loop. And if you're doing axles, this is the perfect place to do an axle. Okay, so those are the different jumps that kind of fit into this spot really well. Okay, so I will do a sow cow. That's kind of a mid-range jump for most people. So we've finished our spiral. I'm gonna stay backwards because I'm doing a sow cow, and I'm gonna go into that. Boom. Okay, so our spiral has gone towards the wall, and then our jump goes back away. It's like we're playing ping pong. Okay, so we go towards the wall, back away from the wall with our jump. All right, so make that jump whatever you want it to be. Most likely an edge jump is going to be best for you, so waltz jump, sow cow, loop, or axle, okay? Now, we're going to do something here that I call a side lunge. If you cannot do it, don't worry about it. You can put something else in here. Okay, I will show you what I would love to see, and then I'll give you some options for other things that you can do instead. I'm sure there's a name for that move. I don't know what it is. I always call it a side lunge because it's kind of like you're lunging to the side. And that's what I'm going to put in when I run this program. I am going to give you some options, like I said. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to put all of our weight on our right hip, okay? So my legs are in an A, and then I put all my weight to my right hip. My legs are still straight, okay? I'm not bending either one. You could bend this right leg, actually. In fact, you might start here and then sink into it because that kind of makes it more of an intense maneuver. But what I don't want is your left leg bending. Then it gets a little funky, okay? So think A-frame, right hip, get a little saucy with that right hip, and then you can bend that right knee, okay? Now, you might want to just sit right here if you've never done this before. You can go here, okay? So I'm going A, lean, knee, sit, okay? And you can see I'm kind of rotating around the edge on this foot is just like almost working like a pivot, okay? It's almost like a pivot where that toe is in the ice, but we're using our edge instead, okay? So we're gonna go A, right hip, right knee, look to the right, okay? Now you can get as dramatic as you want with this. You can really reach up to the ceiling and stretch. As long as your weight is still going to the right, you're gonna be fine, okay? So that is what I call a side lunge. If you guys have heard other names for it, I'd love to hear them, okay? People all over have different names for the same things, and I'd love to hear some other options if you guys have heard them. But once you've finished your jump, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cross over, put that right hip out, and go for it with that beautiful side lunge. And that's gonna take us around the other corners. We're ping-ponging back and forth across this ice. We went this way, did a spiral, this way to the jump, and this way back to do our side lunge. All right, now in case that's a little difficult for you, I have other options if you're not quite up to that side lunge option. Let's just say you did a waltz jump. What you can do is you can take a left crossover, put your feet in a hockey glide, and lean back. Okay, so you want your hips to go forward towards your toe picks, and then your back, then you can lean back and not worry about falling over. Okay, if you don't push those hips forward, it's kind of like a layback, where your hips go forward so that you can lean behind you. Okay, all right, that's another option if you're not feeling that side lunge. It's just a really dramatic lean back. It can be scary, I know, because you're leaning behind you, but it's really beautiful. Okay, try that again, ready? All right, so that's a beautiful option. If you're still not feeling that, okay, that's a little too much for you, we can do a backward 1 foot glide. So let's just say that after your spiral, you did a tap toe jump. Try to get backward, and we can do a little 1 foot glide, okay? And that'll be really pretty also. You can either put your knee up like a traditional 1 foot glide with some pretty arms, or you can bend it and hook it behind you like a little demi attitude. Okay, so I've given you 3 different options, 3 different levels depending on your skill and what you feel comfortable with doing out on the ice. All right, one more time from the top. I know it can be a lot when we start adding things on, so I like to teach things in pieces. Okay, so we're gonna start with our backward stroking or moonwalk. From here, we're gonna do our pivot. Whatever version of pivot you feel comfortable with. We're gonna cross right and into our attitude snowman hat. We're gonna go forward into whatever jump we choose that moves in a straight line. Now we have our dramatic maneuver and our spin. We're going to exit, all right, and get into our spiral. From that spiral, we're going to choose what kind of jump we want to do. And side lunge or whichever other move we choose to do. Okay, now we're going to go back towards the corner and we're ping-ponging, remember? So we've done our side lunge or alternate maneuver. We're going to go straight towards the very corner and we're going to do a beautiful, simple forward lunge. Okay, it's talking about fireside, about chestnuts crackling. So we can just do some pretty arms, imagining those crackling little embers in the fire, okay? So we're gonna go forward and lunge. From here, we're finally ready for that footwork I gave you a couple weeks ago. I hope you've been working on it. I know some of you have been sending me videos and I love that. You have a couple of options for footwork. So whichever footwork sequence you've been working on, we're gonna get up from that lunge. We're just gonna forward crossover around and we have that footwork. Okay, there's a couple different levels of this footwork. So you're gonna do whichever level you have been working on. All right, we're just gonna pop that footwork in right here. Okay, all right, now this brings us to the very middle of the ice. We're almost done with our program. We have one more option for a spin. So we're gonna have 2 different jumps and 2 different spins. Now, if all you know how to do is a 2-foot spin, do it twice, it's no big deal, okay? But we are gonna do a second spin here at the end. So we finished our 3 turn from our footwork. You're gonna put those feet together and get into a wind up. And you're gonna do whatever your grand finale spin is going to be. If you know how to do 2-foot spins, maybe you can change the arms a little bit into that spin to make it a little bit fancier. Okay, whatever you are comfortable with. Now this brings us to the very end of our program. We're gonna check out. We're gonna be heading back towards where we started. We're gonna go into a lunge and then a knee slide, okay? This is one of the older videos that I taught a long time ago. I taught some lunge variations, and I'll post a link down to that below so you can check that out. But we're just gonna go into a lunge and slide. And that will end our Christmas program for 2023. Now that we have learned that complete choreography, it's time to do it with some music. Now, I want you guys to have access to the same music that I'm using that I choreographed this to. And so it is going to be a free downloadable MP3 on my Patreon, okay? I have a Patreon, but you don't have to be a member of that to get this music. I'll post a link to that Patreon down below, so you can head over there and download this MP3 so you can practice with it. And if you're using this to perform at your home rink, then you have that music. It's about 1:30. All right, so if you're doing 1:30 programs, this will work for you. You might need to cut it down if you're doing minute-long programs. But this is what we're going to be using. This piece of music is what we're going to be using for this program, okay? So we're going to do it with some music on the loudspeaker, but I want you to have that same access. So click that Patreon link down below to download.
Merry Christmas, baby. The snowman's dusting off his hat, putting on the show for everybody, to give them a smile that lasts another year. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December ends, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Ooh, yeah. There's room at the table for big and for small. All the fire is popping, the chestnuts are cracking, yeah. Merry Christmas, baby. There's something that happens when something that happens when December ends, when December ends, yeah. Oh, it's Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. It's Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby.
All right, skaters, I am so excited to see all your versions of this Christmas program. Now, I've given you the blueprint. I've given you options for how to simplify it or make it more challenging to fit your skating skills. And now it's up to you to practice it and to give it your own flavor, right? Make the spins your style, put the jumps in that you like, put those artistic maneuvers in that really speak to you, so that each person has their own program. We're all skating the same basic blueprint, but I want you to make this program your own. All right, now remember, for those lefty skaters, I'm gonna have a video coming out just for you, this whole program, but skated lefty, and it'll be coming out at 6 p.m. tonight, okay? So Sunday, November 19th at 6 p.m. Pacific time, the lefty version will be coming out, okay? So just wait a couple hours. I'm separating them so we don't get confused, okay? But we will have that lefty tutorial coming out today. All right, so for how to submit this back to me, because I want you to be practicing these, making them your own, get that cool skating outfit out, maybe an ugly sweater, maybe a skating costume that you like. But I want you to try to find someone who can film this for you, okay? And I want you to film it horizontal, because horizontal fits really nicely on a YouTube box. If it's vertical like this, it doesn't fit quite so well on a YouTube screen. All right, so please film that video horizontal for this Christmas compilation. Okay, now to submit it back to me, I would like for you to post this video to your own personal YouTube account. Now it cannot be set to private or I won't be able to see it. It can be unlisted, but it cannot be set to private or I won't be able to include you in our compilation. So upload it, you can make it public or you can make it unlisted. And on Sunday, December 17th, I'll be posting a video to this channel right here that is just going to be a reminder for you to post your videos. And what you're going to do is you're going to put a link to your video in the comments below that video. So on December 17th, that's a Sunday, a video will be coming up, and you will post a link to your Christmas routine in the comments below that video. All right, now 1 month from today, December 19th, I'm gonna start editing. So you need to get that video in. There's just a couple days window, all right? So set that alarm for December 17th so you can find that video and get your video posted in the links below. So anyone who has a YouTube account can be involved in this Christmas compilation video, all right? And then our whole Christmas Around the World, where everybody is going to be skating this program together, is going to be going up live on Christmas Day. I am so excited for this. All right, I'll be typing those descriptions, how to post it down below. So if you need to read it and help you understand that way, just check the description to this video and you will get those same instructions. All right, skaters, enjoy practicing this program. I cannot wait to see all your results. Happy skating, and I'll see you all again soon.